Stop paying voiceover artists and start doing it yourself like a pro. You can become a voiceover artist with just these four quick things I'm about to share. And the fourth one is the game changer. Don't joke, don't play. So, number one, here's how to become a voiceover artist as a beginner and sound like a pro. So, number one, you have to read out loud. I cannot say it, I cannot emphasize this tip enough because beginners in voiceover industry, they tend to wobble when it comes to reading. You have to read out loud. Nobody will hear you from your mind. You have to read out loud. Read out a book, something in your cosmetics, something. Just read. Keep on reading. The more you are able to read out loud, the more your ear familiarizes itself with the sound of your voice. And this is good for a voiceover. This is good for you as a beginner in the industry. You don't want to pay voiceover artists. You want to become a voiceover artist, then you have to put in the work. So the work is you read out loud consciously. You cannot voiceover in your mind because people want to hear your voice. Your voice is the tool, your voice is your office, your voice is what sells. So you have to be able to put out your voice for people to hear. How do you do that? You have to keep on reading. Second tip, you have to what? Listen to other voiceover artists. You want to be a voiceover artist, then you should acquaint yourself with what? Voiceovers. The more you listen to it, the more you become it. So if you want to be that pro, that professional voiceover artist, you have to have a couple of voiceovers that you listen to every day. Just like you want to score a song, you want to sing that song, or you want to know the song, generally, maybe for business or for whatever, you have to always play the song so that you get familiarized with the song. The same way with voiceover, because your mind needs to get attached to what you are trying to become. If you do not listen to it, how then do you want to become it? So because voiceovers are stuff that you can always plug into your ears and listen to it, it goes directly into your mind, your soul, everywhere gets attached to it. Then the more you listen to it, the more your mind frame shifts into the direction of becoming a voiceover artist. So if you want to be a voiceover artist, you need to keep listening to voiceovers. So the first one, I said you should practice reading out loud. Take your book and read. This is a boy, this is a girl, so that, and the reason for reading out loud is so that your ears familiarizes itself with the sound of your voice. Now the second one is you have to listen to other voiceover artists. You have to listen to voiceovers so that your mind can acquaint itself with the new version of you that you're trying to become. So what you listen to have a majority of roles to play when it comes to your mind. So it gives you the opportunity to also hear the voiceover techniques that was used in the voiceover that you just heard. And when you listen to a lot, you get to learn from these voiceovers that you hear. Then you are able to craft out your own style. I do not encourage you to listen to voiceover artists to become like them. For example, if you listen to my voiceovers, I do not encourage you to be like me, but you can learn one or two things from the way I voice over. Now, the third one, real quick, is practice. I cannot emphasize, or I cannot overemphasize the need of practicing as a voiceover artist. If you're a newbie in the voiceover industry, I'll encourage you to imbibe the culture of practicing. Even as a professional voiceover artist, I still practice almost every day because there's a saying that goes, practice makes perfect. But I heard a teaching and it said, practice makes improvement. So the more you practice, the more you become the better version of yourself. So this complies, or this cuts across different walks of life. I'm just using it for voiceover also. So when you practice as a voiceover artist, you become the best version of yourself. You see your errors, you see your flaws. So if you want to be a voiceover artist as a new person into the industry, or as a beginner, you always have to practice what you've heard, practice what you've learned, practice the things that you've read, practice them. Put all of these things into practice. What you listen to, that was why I said the first tip was reading, then listening, because when you add up these two, it gives you what to practice. So you have to practice on something. So what you've learned, over your course of reading and what you've heard over your course of listening, put them into practice. You have to continually put effort into practicing. You cannot be a professional if you don't practice. And this is not just for voiceover, but because I'm talking about voiceovers, I'm just going to streamline it to voiceover. So when you practice as a voiceover artist, it gives you the edge over who do not practice or who doesn't practice. Because in your course of practice, you get to know the style of your own voiceover. You get to discover new things about your voice. You get to know the texture. You get to know how your voice flows. You get to know the better pitch you can go. Practice gives you a lot more than you can just say. So that's why I advise every newbie in voiceover to always put in the work. If you want to be a professional, you have to put in the work. You cannot sit at the comfort of your low level in the industry and expect to just do great and mighty things. So if you're able to practice what you heard and what you read, you see that you start being the professional that you envisioned. If you do not practice, you cannot walk in that light. So I encourage you to keep listening to voiceover artists and also to keep reading out loud. Very important. And the fourth one, which is the game changer. If you're still watching till now, press the subscribe button and turn on your notification so that you get new videos as I upload them. I am Vinny Oxygen, the voiceover chef, and you can follow me on all the social media platforms like TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and the rest of them. I am Vinny Oxygen. If you want to reach me directly, call +2349022082069, and you can also chat that number up on WhatsApp. I'll be leaving it in the comments. If you have any question, you can drop in the comment section. I will treat it. You can send me an email at vinnyoxygenvo@gmail.com. All this info will be in the description below. So the fourth one, real quick, is love your voice. As a voiceover artist, and I have trained over 350 students, I have got to notice that most people do not love the sound of their voices. A lot of people don't love how they sound. A lot of people don't love how they present their voices, because they feel, oh, I have a croaky voice, I have this, they have so many complaints about their voice. If you want to venture into the voiceover career, or you want to venture into the voiceover industry, you have to love your voice. That is the first thing. That is the most important thing I tell every of my students, that loving your voice gives you the opportunity to actually maximize the voice, actually maximize the usefulness of your voice. You appreciate it more when you love your voice. So no matter the texture, the dynamic way your voice is, it presents, you just develop a culture of loving your voice. Activate the mastery of loving your voice, because if you do not love your voice, then it cannot sell. You have to love your voice first before a client or a customer will love your voice. So you have to be the first person to love your voice. Always love your voice. You want to become a voiceover artist, right? So develop the culture of loving your voice. Hello everyone, I'm Vinny Oxygen, the voiceover chef. I'm a voiceover artist and a voiceover coach, a content creator. And this is my YouTube channel. I indulge you to subscribe if you haven't, and turn on your notification bell to get more videos when I upload them. And I have other content on my YouTube channel where I tell African tales, fairy tales, and Bible stories on my story box under my playlist. Then you see I'm About O'Clock with Vinny Oxygen. It's my pidgin podcast, and you get to see other interesting content that keeps you entertained all day long. Do not forget, subscribe, leave a comment, share, and like. See you in my next video.
Relaxing. Relax tea takes away all your stress, leaving you soft and ready to kick off the next day. Relax yourself with Relax tea. The children love it when we enter a season of fun. And with Park 419, the fun gets intense. With kiddie cartoons, games, horse racing, and so much more. The fun never ends. Bring your children to Park 419 today. It's the Queen's Rock Regalia. Get all things fashion. Rock your world with the Queen's Rock Regalia. What if life gives you lemons? You make lemonade. Zeus Lemonade. Drink for the strong.